Alright, so these are my most anticipated games for 2022. Right now I have 15 games, so this is my top 15. So this is gonna be a jam-packed year, like with lots of games. Like it's pretty ridiculous, honestly. It's getting crazy. Before I get into it, I would say that I'm a little late with this. It's March 7th. So there's some games that were already out or we have a lot of information, but I enjoyed waiting a little bit with it because there's some games that were announced later this year, and that always pretty much happens. Honestly, it's pretty weird to me that most people do their top 10 videos from the year and then most anticipated right away at December or January, when really the year starts at like June for games, you know? Like, there's not that many games to look forward to when you do a most anticipated games list at December or January, you know? So at number 15, I have Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. The funny thing is I might not play this game because I felt like the original game was pretty long, the Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. But that one was really good, really fun, and I really enjoyed seeing the passion and creativity from the developers, and I was really hoping for them to make another Mario spin-off. You know, like not a tactics game again. So in a way I'm a bit disappointed that this game is a tactics game again, but at the same time it just looks much better than the first game. And I know the first game is really cheap now, but I would recommend that you play this game because it looks to be improving a lot from the previous game. So I'm just excited for people to play this one, and maybe I'll pick it up when it's cheaper. Then at number 14 I have Bayonetta 3. That one is a little low because I haven't finished the first game yet. So down the line eventually I'll definitely play Bayonetta 3. It looks like a great game, really fun. And I'm pretty sure the games are not that long either, so I should be able to play Bayonetta 1 and 2, and then eventually down the line Bayonetta 3. Then at number 13 I have Cow the Kangaroo. KO? I don't know if it's Cow or KO. This apparently is some sort of remake or reboot. I've never heard of this before. I saw a trailer and it looks pretty good. It's a 3D platformer and it just reminds me of like Spyro and Crash and maybe Kirby and Mario a little bit. It's just like a mismatch of 3D platformers, and Super Lucky Still on the Xbox did that a little bit too, and that was fun. So this should be a fun game too. Then at number 12 I have Nintendo Switch Sports. I went back and forth about if I should even put it on the list because it doesn't look to be like amazing or anything, and it has a little weird of an art style. But I played the online demo and it did play pretty solidly. Like it played pretty well. The problem mostly though is that it has volleyball, tennis, and badminton, which are like the same sport almost, you know. And then it only has bowling and some sort of sword playing game. The sword playing game is not very fun, and then you know you're only left with bowling then. They're adding golf later in the year, so what I'm probably gonna do is I'm gonna pick it up when golf is added. That's probably what I'm gonna do. But it's not a full price game, but it's 40 euros and $40. But that used to be the full price of a Wii U game, you know? So 40 euros and dollars is still a lot for a game that only has 5 mini games, when Wii Sports Resorts had like 15 of them, and they were all better than the original Wii Sports. I was looking into maybe buying Wii Sports Club on the Wii U, but apparently that game isn't very good and also like 40 to 50 euros or dollars. So I guess I'm actually better off with just Nintendo Switch Sports, weirdly enough. So yeah, I'm cautiously excited about it. Let's just put it like that. Then at number 11, I have the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. I was having a little bit of doubts about if this counts as like a new experience. Usually I don't really put ports on it, but they seem to be adding like more of the endings and story elements than it originally had. So it might as well be a sequel in my opinion. You know, like Splatoon 2 is a sequel, but it's pretty much Splatoon 1 but more. So I just wanted to count it. I'm really excited about this game, and maybe I won't put it on the actual rankings list from this year, but for most anticipated it counts in my opinion. Then at number 10 I have Multiverses. It's a Smash Bros. Clone by Warner Brothers, or like it has the Warner Brothers IPs. So it has a lot of fun characters. I really enjoy the Warner Brothers IPs and stuff. I'm not sure if it's going to be great to play. The same thing with Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl pretty much. That game didn't look like it was going to play well, but it turns out that it plays well. So I have to wait and see. Then at number 8 I have Tunic. And Tunic is a sort of a top-down Zelda clone, but it has a 3D engine, and the main character is a very cute fox, and it looks gorgeous, like in 4K and 60 FPS, and it plays well. I've played the demo. I'm super excited about it. And usually I wouldn't really play any top-down Zelda clones because, there's a lot of Zelda games, and it's not like I'm lacking in Zelda games or anything. And usually they're pixelated, and they play like outdated Zelda games like A Link to the Past or anything. This one, it plays very modern. Like you could say like A Link Between Worlds, for example, that like it takes that more of an approach. So very polished. The only thing that I don't like about it is that it's not going to be on Game Pass, like the developers announced it, which is weird because it's an Xbox exclusive. As far as I know, literally every Xbox exclusive has come to Game Pass. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that, and I'm not sure what the price is going to be. I can't find it anywhere. It comes out this month. I'm recording this on March 7th. Yeah, I'm not sure what the price is going to be. But if it's like 40 euros, then I'm like, why is it not on Game Pass? Like you still get the money from customers. Either way, I'm excited. And at number 7, I have Other RPG. This is a game I've backed on Kickstarter, actually. That's the only game I've ever backed. It cost me 10 euros, which is not a lot. So I figured, why not? I get the game, and it's such a cool concept because it is an RPG like Earthbound or Final Fantasy or whatever, like old school RPGs. But the battles are in real time. It almost becomes a platformer when you battle. Like you just jump on enemies and you attack them. And that reminds me of like Undertale a little bit, where they invent like a new battle system. And I really like that concept because regular RPGs aren't really my thing because of, the menu battle system. This game, I played a demo and it was really good. I'm super excited about it. The music is super catchy and great too. Then at number 6 I have Pokemon Legends Arceus, which is funny because the game is already out. I've played it, I finished it, but it's just to like compare where it would rank with the other games. And the funny thing is that I might have put it a little lower on the list before I've played it because I was pretty cautious about it. The trailers didn't look great, and they didn't even really show much in the trailers at all. But then I watched like I watched a live stream when it came out and decided to buy it because it looked really fun. And it might be my favorite Pokemon game ever so far right now. You'd think like, why is it not higher on the list then? Well, it's because other games that are coming out, they look pretty good as well. And because I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan, I've played pretty much every mainline game, and I've always had fun with them, but I've never felt like they were as polished as like a Zelda or Mario game or whatever. Which isn't a bad thing at all because the releases are much more frequent. For a Mario or Zelda game, you have to wait like 5 years sometimes. So I really enjoy Pokemon for what it is. This one might be my favorite game ever. I was never a fan of catching Pokemon. Like, it was always about defeating gyms for me and just going through the main quests. But this one, it's all about catching, and it's more fun than ever. I enjoy catching, which I'd never enjoyed before. So at number 5, I have Splatoon 3. I love the first Splatoon. I played it a lot and then felt like the content was a bit lacking. Then I put it just down for a long time. And then, I came back a little bit when they added new courses and weapons. But then I felt like that won't help that much. And then eventually when the game was like really finished, when it had like 3 times the content, is when I started to pick it up again. And I was like, wow, it's a totally new game. It's great. And that was when they drip fed the content. That was when it really worked for me. Nintendo has kept doing that with games, and it hasn't worked for other games in my opinion. But it works perfect for Splatoon because it's an online game. But then Splatoon 2, I don't know, it just felt like the same game. And it had a lot of the same maps. It just didn't click for me as much. I still played it a lot and I liked it. I loved it, I would even say, but not as much as the first game. That was a lot more fresh. But Splatoon 3, I'm excited for it nonetheless. We haven't seen that much, but I feel like this gotta be a lot better than the previous game. Then at number 4, I have Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So that's funny what I just said about Legends Arceus. And it's also funny what I said earlier about how I waited a little bit and now there's games announced. This game wouldn't have been on the list if I made it in December, of course. So I'm glad I waited a little bit. This game, it looks like Legends Arceus combined with like the previous games, like as if you combine Sword and Shield and Legends Arceus, basically. That looks great, and the region seems to be based on Spain, which is amazing, and the new Pokemon designs from the starters, they look great. And they said everywhere that it's going to be completely open world, which is not something they said about Legends Arceus. So that's kind of crazy to me that they're going into this direction. Pokemon hasn't really innovated like that ever, really. So I'm super obsessed with Pokemon nowadays. Like it looks amazing. And I'm curious if number 4 is too low. Like it could easily be my favorite game of the year. We'll have to wait and see. We haven't seen that much about it yet. Then at number 3 I have Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I played the demo a couple of days ago and it's really fun. I've never really played a Kirby game, like only for a couple of minutes maybe, and it was never that much fun to me. But this one is it's amazing. Like it's in 3D and it gives me the freedom to tackle enemies the way I want, in 3D. And I just love 3D platformers way more than 2D ones. So it's pretty amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. Then at number 2 I have Mario Strikers Battle League Football. This one it looks really good. It's been 15 years since the last Mario Strikers, and I've played both of the Mario Strikers games. The one on the GameCube, I have a lot of nostalgia for it. I used to play it a lot. I picked it up recently because I was so excited about the new Mario Strikers. The original Mario Strikers on the GameCube is not that not that good. Mario Smash Football is what it's called in Europe, by the way. It's pretty funny that it has a completely different name, but now they use Mario Strikers Football as the name for the games. But yeah, Mario Smash Football on the original GameCube, it isn't that great. But then Mario Strikers Charged on the Wii, it was really good. Like, maybe the best Mario sports game ever. I'm not completely sure about that, but it's up there for me. It's just so creative, and there's so many different types of abilities from characters. I'm pretty excited that they removed the sidekick ability. Like there were characters like Dry Bones and Koopa who were just sidekicks. But they removed that and they only have mainline characters now, and you can use 4 of just mainline characters. So that's all going to be more equal. At first I wasn't sure about it, but I think it's a great idea, especially because it has 8-player multiplayer. So everybody can just play their own character, and that makes it more fair. I like it. And I wasn't sure at first about how you can be able to customize characters. But now I think it's fun because you can use your favorite character and customize their stats just a little bit without feeling like it's a character you enjoy, but the stats don't add up for you. Super excited. I considered putting it at number 1. Like I really did. I'm pretty obsessed about it. Like I can't stop thinking about it. And I just want to play it already. It comes out in June, I think. And that's still a couple of months away. So yeah, really excited. And then at number 1, I have Breath of the Wild 2, or the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I'm very curious what the name is going to be, and it looks amazing, like the new abilities and the fact that you can go into the sky and explore. At first I was a little skeptical because it uses the same overworld, but now you see that you can go underground, I'm pretty sure, from some trailers, and in the sky, and so there should be so much more to explore. And the fact that it's been 5 years now since the original game released, that means that it should be much more of a full-on sequel than we ever expected. I expected it to be released in like 2 years, like 3 years ago, because it was the same overworld. I love Breath of the Wild, but I didn't enjoy that it didn't have dungeons. I didn't enjoy that the story was sort of optional. I love that it was open, but I kind of wish it was a little less open to make it less restrictive. Ironically enough, like I wish it had just like a mainline story that went much bigger, and I didn't enjoy the shrines very much. Well, I mean, I enjoyed them, but not like dungeons, So I hope the new game has dungeons and a more bigger linear story. So I'm just excited about it. I can't wait. I hope it really does come out this year. And yeah, Metroid Prime 4, I don't think it's coming out this year, but that's one of the games I'm looking forward to very much. Probably would be number 1 on the list if it came out this year, but it's not coming out this year, so we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, that's my list. Let's just recap it real quick. At number 15 I have Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. At number 14 I have Bayonetta 3. At 13 I have Cow the Kangaroo. At 12 I have Nintendo Switch Sports, The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, Multiverses, Hogwarts... Oh, man. Really? I completely forgot Hogwarts Legacy. That's, oh my god. I'm not gonna edit it in there. That's way too much. I mean, I guess it's not way too much effort, but man, that would be frustrating to have to drag it over there. Let's just get into it now. I don't mind. It was at number 9, so it's right between Multiverses and Tunic. Hogwarts Legacy, we haven't seen too much of, but the promise is pretty much that it's supposed to be like an open world Hogwarts game. I love Harry Potter. It's my favorite book and movie series. The video games of Harry Potter, they always looked decent. I've never played them. And if I go back to them now, I'm sure they would be dated and not that much fun. They were licensed games, on the movie, based on the movies, and those games are not. I mean, I heard people say that they're pretty good, but I don't know. This game is more promising that you can create your own character, which is, that's your dream if you're a Harry Potter fan. You wanna be a character in that universe, and I'm just so excited about that idea. And you can freely explore the whole Hogwarts area. I'm so curious what Hogwarts is gonna look like without boundaries. In the movie, you don't see everything. You have to imagine a little bit of it. I'm so excited to see what it's gonna fully look like, and I'm not even sure if it's gonna be like an MMO RPG game online or if it's a single player game. But I don't really mind either way. Either way, that sounds cool as fuck. So I'm really excited. Actually, when I heard myself talking about it, I'm curious if number 9 is maybe too low, but it's just because we haven't seen much about it. I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be better than Tunic, better than other RPG, better than Pokemon Legends Arceus, Splatoon 3. I wouldn't be surprised about that at all. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Uh, okay, so continuing to recap. At 15, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Bayonetta 3, Cow the Kangaroo, Nintendo Switch Sports, The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, Multiverses, Hogwarts Legacy, Tunic, Other RPG, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Splatoon 3, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Kirby in the Forgotten Land, Mario Strikers Battle League Football, and then at number 1, Breath of the Wild 2, or the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So, yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening. That's it.